All right, today I want to talk about something real quick. I start my new job tomorrow, and honestly, if it wasn't for this job, I don't even know. Like, this whole week has probably been one of the worst weeks. It's been hell, honestly. I mean, I just can't stand, getting ghosted. Because it kind of seems like I'm by myself again. This week, I just didn't really do much. It's just all the same, I just feel like I'm constantly improving for nothing, the gym doesn't really help my mental state. I know people say that all the time, like, oh, the gym is great for your mental health. I find that it does the opposite most days, honestly. It puts me in a worse mood. But, a couple things I want to do. I'm grateful I got this job. It's the only thing, of course I'm nervous, but still, it's something, and, for the future, I kind of want to grow my hair out long and dye it like some color, like brown, black, something like that. Because, I don't know, just to try something new. I don't think I've ever really had, conventionally long hair like that. It should probably take, maybe at least 2 years. But, it's just something I kind of want to try. Because every time I usually do try growing my hair out, I end up looking like Lloyd Christmas. I get this weird bowl cut that just ends up looking like absolute shit, so I have to cut it. And I think the longest I ever had it was, when I was working, I didn't cut it for 9 months. It was almost down to my shoulders. And so I even remember someone told me I look like Chucky the doll, which is brutal. Because, I'm ginger, and I guess, because when you're growing your hair out, it just, from short hair to long, the front's going to be shorter. It's not going to all be one length, right? And then, if you've been watching me, you already know, I went to a barber and got my hair completely fucked up. They gave me a female haircut and, had to basically cut it all off, and, yeah, that's just hell. But anyway, what I want to talk about is just giving to people. I don't ever learn from my mistakes at all, and this is just something that I just keep doing, just over and over again, just giving money when I don't have it. I regret a lot of things, I really do. I really want to talk about, the worst mistake I've ever made in my life was, I think almost a year ago from today. It's been a year since I've had no job, I've been unemployed. And the worst mistake I ever made in my life was thinking I could change it. Thinking that, if I left my hometown, and everyone was kind of telling me this shit too, my family and, my mom, and just everyone was telling me don't do it. It's terrible down south. You're going to regret living with your father. And they were right, in a sense. I truly regret it. Let me just run this shit down basically. So yeah, my whole family, oh, you're going to regret it. It's not going to be any better. Cause I was just sick of everything. I was just fucking sick of life. I was fucking sick of going to work every day. And at this time, at this moment, exactly a year ago from today, I didn't have anyone in my life. I didn't for that whole, how long was I working for? 10 months, almost a year I was working, and I had no one in my life. I was just fucking angry and miserable every day. I just would come home and it felt like I was just wasting my life away, just working, and I was so just pissed and sick and tired of it. I just, I wanted to meet people. I wanted my life to change so badly. I was just sick of my fucking, mom all the time, just complaining about shit. And, for me just being a fucking failure, basically, for not having this pristine, amazing job, for somehow, even though, I got a meme degree, which everyone told me was, oh, such a smart idea. Yeah, go to college. Doesn't matter what the degree is. You'll find an amazing job. I fell for that and worked in a retail job for, 10 months. Saved up all my money. I saved up so much money. About, I want to say maybe, 17 to 18 grand is what I saved up from working, like, and this was a minimum wage job too, $15 an hour, and plus all the overtime. Like, if you didn't know, I worked like 10 to 12 hour shifts a day because, 6 days a week. And they allowed that because I mean, how could I not? I mean, I had no social life. I just thought, if I fucking worked, it would just keep my mind off of like how fucked my life is and how fucking over it is. Like, if I just keep working and making money, then it'll just, keep my mind off everything. And then one day I kind of just like snapped a little bit, and I'm like, it was just like that whole month of just like last April, I just, cause it was getting nice out. There's like people coming in, and, the store just all happy couples, and, like the springtime was just happening, and I just felt so left out, and I just couldn't take this shit anymore. And I just told my mom, I'm like, I'm leaving. I didn't even really tell my job. I just kind of up and left. I didn't get fired from there. I just kind of up and left. And, they were sad I was gone for the time being, because, I was a hard worker. They were like, oh, you are our best worker we've ever had. They would always say that all the time too. Like, oh, like even my boss, like, oh, in my 40 years of this business, you're the best employee, most hardworking employee. It's because, yeah, what the fuck else am I doing? Like, guys, I work with the most bottom of the barrel, like, you guys don't even fucking know the half of it, these fucking people. This one manager I had, this guy would drink so much every time he came home from work. He would always be hungover like half the days out of the week. Like, one time this motherfucker fell asleep in the bathroom. I'd always have to, take his shift and shit. And it just was always this constant like chaos and drama, and people just not showing up and all this fucking bullshit. But of course me, I got no life. Like, I had no life. No life at all. What the fuck am I doing? So I just did everything. I just was like, yes sir, doing everything. Even like the first couple days I worked, actually, if you didn't know this, I didn't get paid for it. I just kind of did it for free, and then they didn't pay me, and I was gonna bring it up, but it got to a point, like, it got too late, and I just couldn't. And that's another thing that reminds me too. When I went down south, I worked a job like for 2 days, literally like fucking, I don't know, 2 days at a bookstore. And they didn't pay me for that. If you didn't know that, they didn't pay me for that. And I tried calling them all this shit, and I guess I just dropped it at this point. I mean, it's been like when did I get that job? Like fucking September or October or whatever. And yeah, they didn't fucking pay me. So it would have only been like what? Probably like not even like $80, I bet. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I found out they didn't pay me at all, and I was like, okay. And then since I'm up north, like they just, I don't know. I tried calling them and all this shit, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah. Either way, I'm getting fucked, I know people are gonna be like, oh, take it to court, do this. And it's like, I don't have the time or energy for this shit. I mean, I work 2 days, like fucking like 2 8-hour shifts. Am I really gonna fucking like make a big deal or hassle over it? I'm not the type of person to do that. I'm just not, Even people were commenting too, like the stripper, the Dominican stripper that twisted my dick and, threatened me and shit. Like, oh, bro, you gotta like fucking press charges. And I'm like, I'm not a fucking pussy, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I really don't. I'm not trying to like ruin people's lives and all this bullshit, I'm really not like that. But, either way, I just saved up a lot of money. The first like 2 months, I remember it was like a really long fucking drive down there. You start seeing, once you hit like fucking Virginia is when you start seeing like all the slop shit, like the slop signs, like like the fucking, what is it, like the Burger King, McDonald's, Bojangles, like they got like tons of different like fast food chains down there that are like kind of only exclusive down there. But that's when like the slop starts hitting. It was a new experience. I wouldn't say it's a good one. I don't think I learned anything from it at all. For like the first month maybe, I was just exploring, just spending money. I'm like, yeah, I got money. I'll just, I'll blow money on slop. My grandma, oh, can you go buy me this? Can you go buy me that? My dad, oh, can you go out there and buy this, buy that? And this is going to sound bad, but basically I would say I spent a little over 10 grand in the span of 5 months, just not even on myself. I'd say like 70% of it was for like my grandmother, and like my dad and shit, and like shit for the house. I wouldn't say like any of it was for me at all. And I just felt like I was just giving and giving and giving. And like, you know, my family, they're like, you're a fucking idiot. You're just going to blow through all your savings and be poor. And I just kept thinking like, oh, I'm going to find a job down here eventually. I wouldn't put like two cents into it. I'm going to find one eventually. Like, who wouldn't hire me? You know, I'm a hard worker. I've got arms and legs. I'm tall. You know, who wouldn't hire me? You know, I'm capable. I'm not a fucking idiot. I'm stupid, but not that stupid. You know, I can do simple tasks. I'm not, like, why wouldn't you hire me? You know, I'll find a job quick. I'll find a job easy. And I didn't, you know, except for that one bookstore job, which I had to basically suck off cock to fucking get, which is ridiculous. And yeah, I wasted like a little over 10 grand. I came home with about like 6 grand left, but you know, I remember just like my room, it was just literally just a mattress on the floor, and I just would get so depressed and bored because like we lived in the middle of fucking nowhere, guys. It was a welfare state. I even remember too, guys, like I'm not even kidding, like I stopped at a Subway, one of like the first, because there was like a Subway near the house, kind of like, I don't know, like maybe like 10-20 minutes away. I mean, that is kind of far for like, you know, for that, but I remember stopping at this Subway, and I shit you not, guys, there's this dude behind the counter. You know, it was this white guy. He had a do-rag on, face tattoos, and he only had a single, like literally one tooth, a single tooth, like a single front tooth. He had no other teeth but that one single front tooth, you know, like a fucking baby. Like if he coughed, like that shit would go fucking flying, you know, like he just had one tooth. And I remember him making my sandwich. I'm like, I can fucking do this. Like, what the hell? It's just like a different world down there for the most part, you know. I think it's like mainly the accent that does it, like the southern drawl. And it's just like a different way of life, you know. But either way, yeah, I was just thinking like, yeah, I want to find a job, easy. And I feel like some of these people, like, they were just so fucking fake. Like they you know, of course, you know about like Southern hospitality. Like it was real. Like the people were nicer, but I just feel like they were so fake. They're probably like, oh, that fucking Northerner, oh, that fucking New Yorker, oh, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like I couldn't trust any of those fucking people. Like I feel like they'd be nice to your face and just stab you in the back with like the biggest knife, you know? So yeah, wasted a shitload of fucking money, not even on myself, and basically got kicked out. Like, you know, I remember it was kind of all spontaneous and random as well. I was just like really depressed, and my dad was like, he's like, oh, you know, buddy, you're getting really fucking depressed. You're working this shit job, you know, and it's just, he never helped me with anything really, which is odd. He even told me, he's like, you know, I know a buddy up there who, you know, can find you can get you in. You'll be making like $30-40 an hour doing nothing. It's easy work. I'll get in touch with him. He's like, you know, I think it's time. You got to go back to your mother. And just like that, I left, like literally within the snap of a finger. I didn't even know it. Like it was like a Friday, and I just left the next morning at like fucking 4 or 5 in the morning. And and of course I was just defeated as fuck, fat as fuck, guys. I probably was like a little over 200 pounds. I'm not exactly sure how, like what, but I do remember weighing myself like within like the first like couple weeks I came back, I was like 193 or some shit. And I just kind of like stayed that weight until I was like, yeah, I got to go back. I mean, that's not terrible. Like it really isn't terrible. Like for my height, like I'm a little over 5'11". It's not like a terrible weight, but like still you got like a little bit of a gut and some fucking titties, you know what I mean? It's easy to get rid of, you know, it really was easy for me to get rid of actually, but I'm trying to take that more seriously as well, like the gym. Like I really do want to build more muscle. Like I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what I want anymore, because I feel like I'm in decent enough shape, you know. I'm in the 160s. I feel okay. You know, I don't feel like I look like shit. Like my face is still just disgustingly bloated. I can't even look at mirrors anymore without getting pissed. Like every time I look at myself in the mirror, I just want to fucking punch that shit. Like that's how ugly I am, you know. And I can't stand getting gaslit. Like, oh, like from my family, oh, you're handsome. No, I'm not. The only compliments I ever get is from men. Like, oh, bro, you know, you look good, bro. I've never received a compliment from a female, unless it's a fucking stripper, which it's their fucking job to do that. Let's be real. And that makes me angry in itself, that like women don't give a fuck about me. it's just like just a never-ending hell for me. Like, it just feels like it. I don't know. And the bad part about all this, you know, like, right, like I just felt so bad for my grandma, my dad. You know, I wasted all this money, and I'm always like trying to help people and shit. Like for example, right, the band kid, like this kid that I met, and I'm not mad at any of these people or anything. Like, I'm kind of grateful he just randomly came into my life, because like even before that I was just doing nothing but going to the gym and coming home and just looking for jobs. But like, let me just like go back real quick before I say this. So yeah, I had about like, I don't know, like $6-7 grand, whatever, when I came back. And my mom was like, okay, you know, we're gonna, like, literally I didn't even want to come home. I didn't want to do anything, you know. And my mom was like, okay, you know, you're gonna put that into a savings account right now. You're not gonna touch it. You're gonna put $5 grand in there. You could have like what? So I had like basically $2 grand, a little, like maybe like 1 point something grand to spend. And I had like $5 grand in my savings, and she's like, don't touch it. I got you. You know, you're home now. I'll pay for your shit. You don't got to worry about anything. I'll help you find a job. We're gonna look together. You know, just apply to jobs. You know, you're good now. You know, I got you. You know, it's okay. And things were good. You know, I wasn't pissed at my mom anymore. We kind of just like, we're like, all right, you know, just fine with each other and shit. I mean, even now, she'll fucking bitch every now and then, but that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? But she's like, you know, I got you, whatever. And yeah, we spent, I mean, fuck, man, I was looking for jobs every fucking day, you know, until just recently, which is what I'm going to get into. But I mean, that's the thing. Even my dad was saying like, oh, I was applying to jobs. I'm still applying to jobs for you. You're going to find a good one. And yeah, from October until now, I didn't have a job at all. And I just working on myself, basically. I mean, that's just kind of how it went. But, what was I going to say? Yeah, this kid comes into my life, you know, just spontaneously, randomly. You know, I just, like I said before, he wanted me to be a vocalist for his band. He saw me at this food store, and yeah, that's how it happened. And the fucking crazy part is, like, this kid, I mean, hasn't had a job. Same situation, right? Living with his parents. He hasn't had a job in like fucking forever. They let him go for whatever reason. He has like literally $0 to his name. And since I'm like so lonely and desperate for a friend, I'm like, you know what, dude, let's go out. I'll pay for shit. I got some money left. We're good. You know, I got some money left. And that's when, you know, like, started going to the strip club a little bit. I think it's safe to say I'm done with that shit. I mean, I'm never going there like by myself. Like, maybe I would say like the strip club in general is like a place you probably only want to go maybe like, I don't know, like maybe once a year, like on an occasion, and just don't spend that much money, I guess. But either way, you know, this kid, I mean, he just loves the strip club. It's just like a place like that he just loves it, you know, and that kind of like got me into it again, because I've always been going to strip clubs. Like, I started going to them when I was 18, actually, and like not all the time. Like maybe like I went like maybe like twice when I was 18, maybe like 2-3 times when I was 19. Not that much, you know, like a healthy amount. But this kid, man, just like wants to go like every fucking weekend, and then I have nothing going on, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'll pay for shit. And overall, like, you know, he ended up finding a job finally somehow. He's like, dude, you know, I went months without a job. Finally I got a job. And he's like, I'll pay you back. But either way, you know, this kid, like, he just would want stuff. He's like, hey, you know, is it okay if I can get this? I'd be like, all right, cool. Just to make him happy. You know what I mean? Like, I would buy him weed. I would buy him shit, you know. I'd have to pay for, like, he would like tap me on the shoulder, like he'd find like a girl that like he wanted to get a lap dance from, like that she'd be talking to him. He's like, hey bro, you mind if I get a lap dance? I'd be like, all right, fine, cool. You know, I give him like $40. But that quickly turns into like, oh, you're fucking blowing money and shit. And then, you know, I started hanging out with these other kids that he's friends with, and this other kid from my high school, he's also fucked up. Like, he's got like, he's on like 5 different medications. He's in literally, no joke, in the fucking Ramona Flowers Academy as we fucking speak right now. I find that fucking hilarious. It's like, I don't know, but either way, you know, guys, his brain is fucked. Like, he's actually like pretty fucking schizo, like really, like you can tell like from a mile away. I don't know what the fuck happened to him, because I remember him being normal in high school, and his brain just kind of like went, and now he's like fucked. But either way, like, you know, he's saying, he's like, he asked the bank, he's like, oh, you know, you have money for weed? You got weed? He's like, nah, bro, I'm broke. And he's like, oh man, you know, because his parents don't let him smoke weed, all that shit. And he was saying like it really helps him and all that. And you know, he's sitting in the back seat, and I turned around, I'm like, you know, do you really need it? And he's like, yeah, you know, it would help. I'm like, all right, you know, I'll buy you a joint. I'll buy you a fucking pre-roll, even though I don't smoke. You know, you want to know how cucked that is? It kind of is cucked if you think about it. They were all passing the joint around, and I, like, because I can't smoke weed. I don't like the feeling, you know. I'm just kind of done with that. I like alcohol, unfortunately. But, you know, they're all passing the joint around, just sitting there, and I bought the fucking thing, which is hilarious, you know. But he's like, thank you so much, bro. This means so much to me, bro. Like, I'll pay you back. I'm probably not going to see any of that money. That kid's trying to get disability as we speak, you know, and he's like almost like in the process of getting it, because he doesn't have a job either. Guys, I don't know. Like, we are so beyond fucked at this point. It almost sounds like I have it good compared to these fucking kids. Because, like, I've hung out with, I'm trying to think. So the band kid, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. So 4 kids from my old high school I've seen, and out of the 4 of them, 2 of them are trying to get disability. One of them's employed but barely making it. He seems like he's got it together a little bit, and the other one hasn't even had a job yet, just smokes weed all the time and doesn't do shit. And I'm like, we're just so fucked, man. And they all don't have girlfriends, and I'm just like, we're done. The men are done now. Like, there's just no hope. I know people like cope with this whole thing like, oh, there's going to be some insane collapse that's going to happen in the future. No, there's not. People are going to get more and more mentally fucked, and more people are probably going to, like, more and more men are probably going to hop on disability, just have mental breakdowns. It's just inevitable. Like, this new modern age bullshit life is just not sustainable anymore. It just really, like, technology fucked everything. It really did. And, like, they're all isolated and bored and miserable, especially the ones that are meted out are just, like, out of it and just so, like, they just suck the energy out of everything because they're just so, like, down and defeated. And, yeah, they're trying to get disability at 23, and I'm like, fuck. I even had this other friend that I had, he got disability at 18, and, like, no one's fucking working. And the crazy thing is, it's like, right, like, think about this. We're all struggling to get jobs, right? But, like, nobody's working. So how does that even make fucking sense? You know? But, yeah, you know, I bought this kid $20 for a joint. I'm like, okay, cool. Might as well make him happy. You know, the band kid, I've been paying for a lot of his shit. He probably owes me, like, $400. And he's like, oh, I'll give you the money, like, eventually, you know, when I get paid for my job. And, you know, he was even saying, like, because he got paid, like, last Friday, and he was supposed to, like, give me a small amount. Like, he's going to give me, like, small amounts, but he's like, oh, you know, I had to pay off my credit card because I'm in credit card debt and shit and blah, 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 blah. So all my money, my first paycheck had to go to all these bills. And let me tell you this, too, real quick. That just reminded me of something. This just actually happened, like, fucking Wednesday. Wingman, you know, I would say he's an OG. You know, I think he's going to pay me back. I know he's going to pay me back because he tried to, but my Zelle is fucked up. So, basically, Wingman, he's fucked. I mean, even though he's got rich parents, though, like, his dad's a bald Nigerian doctor who makes $500,000, and his fucking mom is a nurse who makes, like, $200K. They're good, right? But, like, I've even had this talk with him, like, apparently his parents, like, won't give him, like, any money and bullshit and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, they're probably gonna help you out. Like, you probably got it good. Like, I know he's, like, $100K in debt and all this shit, but, like, dude, his parents have to have him. Like, I mean, I know my parents would probably, like, help me out, you know what I mean? But anyway, with Wingman, he texted me Wednesday. He's like, dude, can you send me $170 because, you know, I got to pay off my credit card, blah, blah, blah. He's got like a 400 or like a 383 credit score, which I think that's terrible, right? I don't know. That's fucking shit. But he's like, you know, if I don't pay this off, you know, right now, my credit's going to just fucking plummet even worse, and I'm going to be beyond fucked for my life. So I sent him $170. He's like, all right, thanks, I'll pay you back. And, you know, the Zelle didn't fucking work. So I'm like, all right, you know, whenever you see me, just give me, like, whenever you see me next, whenever we hang out next, just fucking give me the money in real life. Just hand me the cash, you know. But it just seems like I'm just constantly like just trying to make everybody happy and give to people when like, cause like right there, that's like, I spent like maybe $1,000 this month. So, and this is what like caused me to kind of like get this job. So like cause like, it's like a joint account, like with my mom, and she fucking saw I like took out money from it, and she flipped the fuck out. She's like, how'd you spend this much money in a week? What the fuck? I don't make that much money. We're poor. Because we are fucking poor. Let's be honest. We're not even, I wouldn't even consider us middle class. We fucking got lucky, basically. My mom never really had like a job, if that makes sense. Like she didn't work for like maybe 11 years she was raising me. I mean, she had like small jobs like every now and then, like here and there. But she never went to college. Neither did my fucking dad. But he, you know, he figured it out. He's like a, you know, very mechanically inclined, all that. You know, worked for my grandfather's company, blah, 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 blah. He was fine. You know, he got lucky too, but we don't even own the house we live in and shit. And fucking, yeah, it's just, we're pretty fucking poor. And my mom flipped out crying all this shit and blah, blah, blah. You know, just cause I'm so lonely. I just want to make these people happy and shit. And I don't know. I gotta like learn to stick up for myself and just say no. You know, because I feel like I'm a yes man. Like when people like ask me for shit, I'm always like, yeah, I'll help you, bro. Just expecting something in return, and it never happens. It just doesn't, you know. So that night, you know, I remember coming home, and she fucking just flipped out and called like so many people, and she knew a guy who knew a guy who knew this guy. So I have a job. It pays well, like decent. Like I said, I start tomorrow. So I assume like maybe this month I gotta like hardcore save everything now, because I fucked up bad. I really did, you know, and it just sucks, man. I just wish I don't know, I just wish I had a normal life. I just wish I had a nice loving girlfriend who didn't think I was fucking ugly, who thought I was like some, you know, big cocked Chad. You know, I'm just fucking sick. I wish like I had normal people in my life who weren't like literally schizo and like, you know, just normal, who did healthy, like productive things. Cause it just seems like everyone wants to do like this degenerate fucking bullshit now. Everyone wants to like fucking rot on their phones and do garbage, you know? And I'm not gonna lie, even like the healthier copes seem fucking boring as shit to me too. But I mean, at least you're doing something that's healthy, you know? But yeah, you know, my mom called this guy and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, they're overstaffed anyway. Like I went on the interview like literally the day after I went to the strip club, and I'm so like glad I wasn't like hungover or anything. And you know, I sat down, and this guy literally looks like Mr. fucking Crocker from from the Fairly Odd Parents. Apparently he's going to be like my new like boss or something. But you know, Monday he called me and he's like, you know, we're overstaffed, but you know, I'll let you on board. I was like, okay, sounds great. You know, thank you. You know, thank you for the opportunity, and I'll not fuck this up, because I mean, I doubt it. I'm a hard fucking worker. I'm not like, I don't fuck around, you know. I don't sit on my phone all day and on fucking slop talk, just fucking looking at stupid shit. You'd be surprised. I don't know. People are just fucking lazy as fuck nowadays. I don't blame them though. I mean, shit, the internet, like I said, just fucked everything. But I mean, yeah, I don't know, at least I'll make, so like within the first like it's like bi-weekly paychecks, so within a month of working I should like make back all the money easily, like plus maybe like another $1,000 or whatever. So yeah, at this point I gotta play my cards right. For sure, I'm not spending a dime on anything. I'm just gonna let my fucking parents, I gotta like tell them, you know, like let them know, like, can you just like please pay for my shit again, because I don't want to, I just want to save, you know. I want to have a life for myself. I want to like do shit, you know. I don't want to be poor and broke like these fucking kids, you know. I want to actually like save up money and move out and just figure things out, you know. But yeah, I don't know. This week has been fucking miserable. Like I'm telling you, I just got ghosted by this kid. You wanna know how fucked up that would be if he just ghosts me entirely and just never pays me back? Because like I said, he easily owes me like $400, and he even told me, he's like, yeah, I'll give you that much, like just give me some time, you know. But I did call him yesterday, and he kind of like sounded, I don't know, like his demeanor kind of changed a little bit. And like he said, like, oh, let's hang out tonight, and he just ended up not even, I don't know, it was weird. He didn't answer me, and then he was supposed to pick me up, and then he texted me this morning. He's like, oh, sorry, I fell asleep, dude. I was like, okay, I don't know. Very strange. I don't know. I think that might be it for friends now. I mean, I really don't know if like the ghost thing continues. I might be friendless again. Fucking great. So I'm trapped in my head all day again. It really is healthy hanging out with people. Like it really does elevate your mood and make you feel better. I just fucking can't stand being trapped in my own head. That's why I like making videos so much. Like this is the only thing I really love doing. But yeah, it's getting kind of long. So yeah, that's pretty much it.